Hi and welcome to this video. Today we will talk about animation in newsletters. As you see on my screen, I got this nice, well-designed newsletter template from YouTube. It's my February creator newsletter. And as you can see here, we have a round image, we have an animation in the background, and here we have also an animation at the bottom. Forget my numbers, they are not that good, but the template is very well designed. It's appealing, it's attractive. This is what we all looking for. But how we can animate our newsletters, or is it possible to animate them? Well, unfortunately, you can't use videos in newsletters. The only way to animate or to use animation in newsletters is through GIFs. And all what you see here are GIFs in the backgrounds. They are working here in Gmail, but they do not work on all other mail providers. So you may need to think in a different way if you want to use animation on all other platforms. Because the animation in the background is going to work here in Gmail in the new Outlook, but it's not going to work on the old Outlook. Let me show you how this newsletter looks on the classic Outlook. So this is here Gmail and this is the classic Outlook. So as you see here, the image is not round and here there is no animation. The table here looks completely different. The buttons here, the numbers, it looks all different. If you want to use animation on all platforms and you want to avoid such problems, you need to stay away from background images like here. You need to use it like here under the text. You need to use just rows and cells. I'm going to illustrate it in Word in a quick way. We are now in a print layout. We need to switch to web layout. And here we will insert as usual a table. And then let's insert more cells. And in order to stay safe and to make sure that your animation is going to work on all other platforms, you need to insert it here. For example, let us search for an image, any kind of an image. Let's insert this one. It's huge. Let's make it smaller. So if you want to add a text to your animation or an image on top of the animation here, this means that you need to add it in the image itself. And you can here add like text, and that's it. This is the structure of a good working template with animation. Now let's move to the other question. How can I create animation? You can create your animation using different programs, like you can use Photoshop or you can use After Effects to create and export your animation as a GIF. So the only way to use animation is to export your animation not as a video, as a GIF. Now I prepared something just to show you how to do it. Let's open first Photoshop. Now let's create a new file. And here, when we create the new file, as you can see here on the right side of the window, we have 1920 pixels width and 1080 pixels height. And this is too big for a GIF. We need to reduce it. So for a banner, for an email template banner, I would use 800 pixels and I would use 250 as height, or even 200, because we want to make the file size smaller, and more pixels means a bigger file size. Now we have here this artboard. I just prepared an animation, or I downloaded a video from the internet. Just gonna drag and drop it in Photoshop. As you can see, we have the video now. I'm gonna scale it a little bit to make it cover the artboard. Let us center it. If you can see, we lost some information here. The earth is not all on our template. This is why it's a good idea to make it maybe a little bit bigger. Let's go to the artboard, and then let's increase the size of the artboard. We have here 200. Let's make it 250. And now let's go back again to the image and center it. It looks okay. Now we need the tools to work on the size of the animation. You don't want to send an email with a 20 megabytes because it's going to take too long to open, and this is not a good user experience. So we want the file size to be very small. Now let us open the timeline. We go to window and then timeline, and here we need to create first timeline. If your video is not a loop, it's better to create a loop, but our video is already a loop, so we don't want to create a loop. Now let's go to the first step in making the GIF smaller. And now let us set the timeline frame rate. It's 30. I would go immediately to 15 and then OK. And now, as you can see, we have a smaller timeline because we reduced the number of frames. Now we need to go to File, Export, Save for Web. And here we have this window. Now it's JPEG. We need to change it to GIF. It's going to take some time. It depends on the hardware that you have. Now we have a GIF. It's 7 megabytes. It's 16 colors. So if you are not satisfied with the quality, you can increase the colors to 32. It's gonna render it again. And let's go to perceptual. I'm not gonna talk about reducing the size of the GIF because it's a topic for another video. You can play with the options here and to get the best result. So these are the most important options here: the perceptual, selective, adaptive, restrictive, and the colors, and here the dither, diffusion, pattern, no dither. And here if you use diffusion or if you use dither, you can here play with dither a little bit to achieve a better result. As you can see here at the bottom, the quality is very bad, but the size is around 4 megabytes. And then saving it, you can save it wherever you want. I'm gonna save it here in the downloads. Maybe it's better to change the name of it. And then you can go to your mail program and insert it as an image, as a normal image to have the animation. I'm just gonna insert it in Word because it's the same. Let me just delete this and let's go to insert picture, and then let's go to downloads, and this is the image. As you can see, it's working. The quality is very bad, but as I said, you can play with the options in Photoshop to get a better quality. And Word and Outlook are almost the same, so it's gonna work there as here in Word. To sum it all up, videos do not work in mail programs. You can use only GIFs, animated GIFs in newsletter templates, which you can create in Photoshop, After Effects, or any animation program. If you have any question, please leave a comment and don't forget to like and subscribe.